Okay, just continuing this example, is there a nicer way of writing this down? So lots of minuses in it. Is there a nicer way of writing that down?
Times top and bottom by -1.
Times top and bottom by -1. Yeah, if you times that effectively by -1 over -1, you're timesing it by 1, you're not changing it. The top becomes 1. Everything here sign changes. So instead of having a +1 and a -u, you have a +u and a -1. So that is the same as that, and it's just nicer. There's one less minus sign. It just makes it easier to deal with. So the question we started with is at the top of the board. Everything we usually do is written down the right hand side of the board. So the next thing is to rewrite the question. So I'm integrating e to the x. That is the top of my original fraction. E to the x is 1 minus u over 2. That's the top of my fraction. And that is over...
Is it e to the power of that?
Okay. E to the x is just... So that e to the x there is just that. I've just brought that straight in. On the bottom, 1 minus 2 e to the x. What's that the same as? U. And that is being cubed. I didn't need that long line there after all. And dx, I haven't actually written down what dx is yet, but remember dx is just this thing over here with the du shifted up there. So my dx will be 1 over u minus 1 times by du. There's no need for that long line there, got a bit carried away there. So we've got a triple decker fraction. How can I combine this bit here into one fraction? How can I write that not as what I call a triple decker fraction, but just as a normal fraction? I've got this thing here is being divided by u cubed.
Or put 2 down with the u cubed.
Yeah. If this is being divided by u cubed, if I put that u cubed on the bottom bit, then it will still be divided by u cubed. So that bit there is 1 minus u over 2u cubed. Okay? The u cubed still being on the bottom of that fraction still means it's dividing. So that is the same as that. I'll put my integral sign in. And over here, I've got 1 minus u minus 1 du. Can anybody spot anything here that we can do to make life easier for ourselves?
Can you somehow combine them so that you can...
Which bits? That bit and that bit?
Multiply the one on the right by -1.
Multiply the one on the right by -1. So the one on the right, do what we did before, times the top and bottom by -1. That will make that bit be like that. And if I write this bit here down, those two lines are the same. So what I've done here, that bit there, I just changed the signs on the top and the bottom. I did what I did earlier. I times by -1 over -1. And then it's a bit clearer as to what goes on. What can cancel now? Why did I change this bit here? To make this the same as that. I said, what I did there, I started with this, Laura, and I did that trick before. I timesed it by 1, but as a -1 over -1, which changed the sign of the top, changed the sign of the bottom, so those are equal to each other, because now they look the same, and I can just say that cancels with that.
Yeah. Why did you change it a minute ago then? Do that?
To make it look nicer.
Oh, right.
But actually, it didn't help the maths,
Right.
because I've actually changed it back again here. Okay? So they cancel out. So I've got now -1 on the top and 2u cubed on the bottom, du. How could I rewrite that integral? By taking things through integral signs and by using indices. How can I rewrite that? What can I take through the integral sign? Minus a half. Yeah, the minus 1 over 2 is just a number that can go through the integral sign. What am I left with then on the right of the integral sign?
Minus 3.
Yeah, a u cubed on the bottom, in other words, u to the minus 3, and my du. This is the point I do my integration. So I'll keep that minus a half there. Sunny, can you integrate u to the minus 3 for me, please?
Minus u to minus 2 over minus 2.
Yep, that's right. And because I've done my integration, I'll put down my plus c. What is a minus 1 on the top and 2 times by minus 2 on the bottom the same as? Someone said a quarter, that's right. 2 minuses cancel each other out, and there's 1 and 4 on the bottom. So that's the same as a quarter, u to the minus 2 plus c. Just tidying it up. And u, from earlier on another bit of paper, so let's make sure I'm on the right question, u was 1 minus 2 e to the x. So there is my answer. Did my question have a minus power in it? It didn't. It had a fraction instead. So I will put that 1 minus 2 e to the x squared on the bottom of the fraction, just to make it look more like the question. I've got a 4, which is already at the bottom of the fraction. Then I've just got a 1 on the top and my plus c. Okay, the last line was completely optional, but if you were looking for an answer in an answer book, they would probably make the question look more like that.
Why would they do that one because it's got a fraction in it? Would they surely not print one that just have made
It depends. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that line there at all. That's just a bit nicer, haven't got a minus sign. There's nothing wrong with either line.